Yo, it's Haley and Chris here, and Lone Alpha on the other side. This is Haley and Nerd Gaming Game Talks, episode 3. So today, our topic of conversation is going to be childhood gaming memories. And being this my brother, we are going to have a lot of similar memories, but there are also going to be ones we have different opinions on, such as them bullying me into playing games they wanted to when I was little. Alright, so if you want to start off the conversation, Lone Alpha, that would be appreciated.
You're going to have to say that again. I'm having some mic issues.
If you want to go ahead and start off the conversation, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I guess the hot topic question for something like this would be favorite childhood game overall. I mean, I'll let you lead off with the answers.
Favorite childhood game? Whoa.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm just going to go with per time period of my life.
Okay.
My favorite games, all the way up until I was 10 years old.
Alright,
so
let's hear.
number one has to be, for when I was little, Pokemon. No, we'll go earlier than that. Mario Kart 64 for the N64 when we were about 4 or 5 years old.
That was great.
Yeah, that was favorite childhood game from that time period. Me, you, and Rogue Blizzard had several hours put into that game, just nothing but fun. And then we ended up giving it away to her.
Yeah, pass the torch.
What about you? For that, up until you're about 5 years old, what was your favorite video game?
Oh, man. Well, that was our 64 era, so it is between Mario Kart 64 and WWF No Mercy. But I think I'm going to knock it down to Mario Kart 64.
I was honestly expecting the original Need for Speed game.
Not on 64, it wasn't, though.
Yeah, but we had PlayStation at that time, too. Because we had that, and we had X-Men Mutant Academy.
That's a good point.
With Spider-Man in it, and Professor Xavier doing combos in a wheelchair.
That's a good point. I still like 64, though. I mean...
Yeah, 4-player action.
Yeah, we put a lot into it.
Nothing beats it.
Alright, so, what's the next age bracket?
The next age bracket is going to be from 6 to 8.
6 to 8. Mega Man 3.
Pokemon Yellow version.
Mine started an addiction that hasn't been satiated.
So what is you, Mega Man? Go ahead and explain it to the people.
What is my what with Mega Man?
Your
Playing it felt right. I liked the setup. It was old school.
Restart.
At that time, it was
Yeah.
different for me.
Yeah.
And I think if I had to narrow it down, that's what really got me into video games. Because that was a grind to beat that game.
Alex.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Restart. The audio pause. The sound recorder pause. So
Okay.
it paused right as I was saying what started your addiction with Mega Man. And why Mega Man?
You there?
Yeah. What was your addiction with Mega Man? And why Mega Man?
Well, Mega Man 3 got me through some pretty rough times. And I think deep down inside it started my addiction to video games because I put a lot of hours into grinding to actually complete the game. That was the first game I remember actually wanting to complete and beat all out. And to this day, I'll still pick up a controller to play Mega Man 3. Any Mega Man, but specifically 3.
3 was really good. 3 was really good.
3 was probably by far my favorite.
Alright.
It's actually ranked as one of the harder Mega Man games after 2.
Yeah, 2 is definitely hard. But all Mega Man games are hard for me. Even 10 on beginner difficulty is hard for me. I'm good at platformers, just not Mega Man. I would rather jump on the stuff to kill it.
You're a Mario guy.
Sonic.
Well, yeah, that era. So what's yours?
Mine.
For ages, you said what?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Pokemon Yellow version for Game Boy.
That was the special Pikachu version, wasn't it?
Special Pikachu edition that I just rebought on my Nintendo 3DS because it came out on February 27th. And I encourage everybody to go pick up either a copy of Red, Blue, or Yellow version for $10 in the Nintendo eShop. 3DS exclusives.
So giving them a shameless plug right now, and I bet they'll love it.
You mean? I'll bet they'll sue for copyright infringement.
No, not if they get sales off of it. But it's cool. We'll just feature them as an ad.
But yeah, me and Rogue Blizzard went into GameStop at 7 years old, if I'm recalling correctly. 7 years old, we walk into a GameStop, and we had the Game Boy Advance SPs at the time. They would play the original games. They would play the original Pokemon games. So we walk in there, and Ruby, Sapphire, all that was already out. But we look, and she sees Charmander. No, she actually gets the blue version, if I'm not mistaken. She gets the blue version, and I get the yellow version. Because I've always been a big fan of Pikachu. Even before watching the anime, my favorite Pokemon was Pikachu. Always has been, always will be. I don't know why,
favorite.
but yeah, pretty much. Pokken, I'm gonna main Pikachu. Smash 4, I main Pikachu and co-main Yoshi. Melee, I play Pikachu. Smash 64, I main Pikachu. I have a Pikachu necklace, bracelet. I just like Pikachu. But
he's a Pikachu guy.
Yeah, there's definitely a special bond with that game. It brought me out of some really tough times. We were going through some rough spots in our life at that point. And Pokemon and Nintendo in general helped me out in that. But especially that game. And we died. Me and Rogue Blizzard would have killed for a link cable so that we could trade. But no. They never thought it was necessary. We walk into GameStop with our own money and go to buy a link cable. No, you should buy a game. That's just a waste of money.
Of course.
All I wanted to do was beat her. But now, whenever she gets another 2DS/3DS and she buys blue version or red version, whichever one she chooses, I'm going to beat her. And she's going to lose. So
we will see how that goes.
That was my favorite game for ages 6 to 8.
Alright, so what's the next bracket gonna be?
Next bracket will be 8 to 11.
8 to 11. Man, I gotta give that one to Smash Brothers Melee.
Yep. Yep.
I think.
I agree
It's
with you.
between.
It's between
Go ahead.
Melee and Mortal Kombat Deception.
Oh man, I don't know. I love Mortal Kombat, but I wasn't fond of Deception.
You were a Deadly Alliance guy.
I did like Deadly Alliance. But
Since
I also have to
telling
throw
stories
Need for Speed Underground 2 in there as well.
Since we're telling,
That was a very...
Since we're telling stories here, I'm going to go ahead and tell our first backstory of the day, flashback. So this is going to be a flashback when the GameCube first released. Or close, when we first got our GameCube, it was within a year of release, I do believe. I could be wrong on that, but I think it was. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance came out for the GameCube. Our uncle was there, he picked it up, he brought it back to us. for Christmas. We got GameCube, Deadly Alliance, Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, a WWE WrestleMania 18. What else
It
did
was
we get?
17 and 18.
17 and 18. What else did we get?
Remember that Shrek game?
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody else
yeah.
ever played that.
That's actually a really good game. But the Shrek game, and that's all I remember for then. But we got...
I think that's where we...
We got GameCube, that, and 4 controllers for Christmas. And we're playing Deadly Alliance. Me, Lone Alpha, my uncle, and his girlfriend at the time.
Why? Yeah.
Girlfriend at the time were staying up, and we were playing Deadly Alliance. My mother wasn't home. She left for the weekend, I do believe. And he was like, you know what, guys, you're staying up all night. We're playing this game. We're beating this game tonight. So we're all sitting around taking turns doing the conquest mode on Deadly Alliance. And Lone Alpha falls asleep on the couch. Passes out. Wakes up about 3 o'clock in the morning.
I want to pick it.
Go ahead.
I want to pick it up from right here.
Alright, go ahead.
I wake up. He tells me it's like 3 a.m. I don't remember. I wake up. I don't know where I am at. I sit up. Boom. There it is. I went way too hard for children our age at that time, and I puked everywhere in the floor.
He's such
and
a
all I remember... Go ahead.
I said, you're such a weakling.
I don't remember what we did that night to this day. I just remember puking and then falling back asleep and everybody being unlocked on Mortal Kombat the next day.
Dr. Pepper's and Thunder barbecue chips.
Those were so good.
Thunder barbecue chips for the shit.
I'm going to sidetrack for a second. Whatever happened to those?
I don't know. I can't find them. I can find like sour cream and onion, regular chips. I can never find the barbecue ones though.
Well, if anybody knows where they're at, tell us, please.
We will road trip to Oklahoma if we have to.
We will. Get some old Jailor's barbecue sauce or something.
Alright, so back on track. Stop giving plugs to World Wrestling shit of the year. Alright, so go ahead and start where you were at. Need for Speed Underground 2.
Yeah, it was your shot. Or did you say the game you liked?
Well, you were deciding. You hadn't finished deciding yet between Melee, Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, or Underground.
Man, you know what? I know that we put the hardcore 48 hours in to get Mewtwo, but I have to give it to Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance. If it wasn't for that game, I probably would have never played fighting games.
Alright, mine is debatably my favorite game of all time. I seriously do not think anything will ever be better than this game, and that is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Countless hours in that game. I know I've logged over 1,000 in the past year.
That's your favorite game to play competitively, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the most fun I have playing competitively. I love playing Street Fighter and MK and traditional fighting games competitively, but the community, and I never have as much fun as when I'm playing any Smash Brothers title. There's something about the hype of ledge guarding, and it's more to do, and it occupies my mind more, so I'm having to think faster and be smarter. And I understand, I know there's a lot to do in regular fighting games, I know, and I know there's a lot to calculate in there, but Smash Brothers has just a whole nother dimension. I love it. But Melee, by far, the quickest, the fastest, the longest lasting, most consistent of the games, is by far my favorite game from that time period, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, my favorite game of all time.
Alright. I can respect that. Very good game.
Incredibly good game.
So where's your next age bracket at, since you're in charge of these?
we're just gonna go from 12 years old to now. We're just gonna skip 80 brackets from this point and just go from 12 to now because we've been pretty consistent on just doing sequels of the games we used to love.
Alright, so you have to repeat the age bracket. I didn't hear all of that.
From 12 to now.
12 to now. Wow, that's a chunk.
Well, we've played pretty much just sequels of what we used to play.
Yeah, that's true. Favorite video game since I was 12 years old. And in case anybody's wondering, I'm 19 now, so that's like a 7-year gap. Go ahead and cover for me while I'm thinking.
Alright. Favorite game, obviously excluding Melee. From 12 years old to now. Game came out in 2011, 5 years ago. I was not even a teenager yet. I was my 12th birthday party, or my 12th birthday, I got this game. No, my 13th birthday, I got this game. Because I'm about to turn of age. I got Mortal Kombat 9 and played that game continuously. Never took a break from it. Absolutely loved that game. Possibly the best Mortal Kombat game of all time. I put consistent work into that game and tried at that game. I learned that game. Hitting 50%, 60% combos consistently, dominating, just overall amazing game. Loved the engine, the fighting, I just love that game. Cannot give it enough compliments.
That's actually kind of funny. I was sitting here thinking about it, and that Mortal Kombat 9 definitely is a contender, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gotten back into video games. I was in kind of a rut until that game came out. But I'm gonna give it to its pretty much its little brother, Injustice, because that's what really got me into online gameplay and fighting games and learning a character for what it is and all the, the mechanics of competitive play. I logged a lot into that game.
Good game. I wish we were recording back when we were playing that game consistently.
Oh man, I got the gold logos for Superman, I got silver for Batman and Green Lantern.
Within
I done all
like
kinds
2
of
days
stuff.
time. Like a lot of people can get gold, but you got it within like a 2 days time with like 20 win streak with Superman.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of stuff.
Got a lot of hate mail.
Oh, that was fan mail. Man, so we've talked favorite games of different age brackets, and I'm gonna throw this question out there to you.
Hold up real quick. I said my favorite game of all time. What's your favorite game of all time?
Oh man, and favorite game of all time?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's Mega Man 3.
I don't know if I can narrow it down to one game. Like, I could put it on a franchise.
Favorite franchise?
And even that would be tough. But I'd give it to Mega Man.
You give it a Mega Man.
Yeah, I've solidly played every Mega Man game. The close second would be Mortal Kombat.
Smash Bros, Mortal Kombat, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Alright. I guess to give a top 3, it would be Mega Man, Mortal Kombat, and...
Need for Speed.
Yeah, Need for Speed. I have a passion for cars.
Alright. So what was the question you were going to ask me?
I want to hear, since we are a fighting game community, your top fighting game character of all time.
Top fighting game character of all time.
Yes.
Okay, what are we talking there? Smash Bros. Characters counting?
Just of all time.
Um,
If they play it in a tournament, it is free reign.
Alright. I've gotta stick with him. Favorite fighting game character of all time is Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, I like it. Nut shot to the man.
Played him in 1, played him in 2, played him in Deadly Alliance, played him in the GameShark Deception, where you could get him as a character, played him in Armageddon, played him in 9. I played Sub-Zero in DC Universe. I don't think he was in there. I played him in Johnny Cage in 9. I played Johnny Cage in MKX. Johnny fucking Cage, man. Johnny fucking Cage.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna say like Ryu or Ken or some Street Fighter guy, because you're pretty big on that game now.
Johnny Cage.
I'm gonna say mine would be, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are gonna agree and a lot that are gonna not agree because he's slower. He's like the third wheel of palette characters, but I'm gonna go with Reptile.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
He's like, if you know how to use him, he's like the secret weapon waiting to happen.
Oh, he's amazing if you know how to play
I
him.
do. Oh yeah. I do hate that they've slowed him down over the years, but
Not even
when you know how to
with
use
him.
him, he's a secret weapon. He's deadly.
Yeah, because in MK9 and MKX, they gave him the force ball that popped him in the air and opened up for a juggle. So if you could juggle off of that, you could dominate as Reptile.
Oh yeah. I played him a little bit in MK9. I haven't gotten the chance to play MKX a lot.
Yeah.
So did you have a topic you wanted to bring up?
Favorite Super Nintendo game.
Favorite Super Nintendo game?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go ahead and lay mine out there. My absolute and utter favorite Super Nintendo game is Donkey Kong Country.
Oh man. That one is good. That one's really good.
Donkey Kong Country. And that was not even... I hadn't played it when I was little. I had played it I didn't play it a lot. I played it a tiny bit. But I rediscovered it a couple years ago, about 2 years ago. I rediscovered it and downloaded a ROM of it. And oh my gosh, it was just so good. Such a beautiful looking game.
Super Nintendo. Refresh me on some of the games that were there.
Star Fox, Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World. There's so many games, man. UMK3, MK2, MK1. And now that you're
Man,
asking
I'm
for
gonna have to go.
Mega Man X.
I'm gonna have to go. As big as a Mega Man fan as I am, I'm gonna go with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And that's just because I have recently started playing it again and realized how good and how revolutionary of a fighting game that it was.
Yeah, definitely good game.
Like, it brought in, as far as I know, tell me if I'm wrong, it brought in legit combo systems.
Street Fighter 2 brought in legit combo systems. And just
Did it come out before
yes,
Ultimate Mortal
it
Kombat
came
3?
out before Mortal Kombat 1.
See, I'm just now getting into any kind of Street Fighter, so that's why I need you to have my back on this one and correct me.
So just a little bit of a trivia fact for you guys. Most of you fighting game aficionados already know this, but Street Fighter 2 was actually not supposed to have a combo system. Combos in Street Fighter 2 and in most games are canceling the animation of your first attack into a second one. And combos were not built into the game at this point. Combos were actually a glitch that Street Fighter 2 had updated their arcades at one point in time and got rid of them, but play on the game, or they were looking into it, and the game became so mundane and boring that you couldn't actually, it wasn't fun to play. So they never actually took that glitch out and left combo system in there, which is how combos came to be. And the fact that they wanted to change this is evident in the E Honda 100 hand strike or the Chun-Li kicks, where you can actually, as a player, can move or attack in between two of Chun-Li's kicks or two of E Honda's hits. You can attack in between them because they were going to take that out of the game, and that's part of the evidence in there that they were going to do that. Which it really helps because you could, even though they were backing up during those moves, and you do create space, it created an opportunity to counter-strike those attacks, which if you could time it right, you could probably get a light shuriken off and counter that and set up with the knockdown and set up from there with the attack. But that's for a different time, different lesson. But just a fun fact out there for you guys, and I'm not sure you knew that, Lone Alpha, so there you go.
Well, I didn't know that, for one. But there you go. The birth of combos.
And a little bit of other Street Fighter action for you guys. I suggest all of you guys go and watch the Street Fighter Resurrection trailer that released today, which today being March 1st. Today being March the 1st. So I recommend that all you guys go out there and watch that because it's really good, and it's a sequel to Assassin's Fist. They are still going to do Street Fighter World Warrior, but this one takes place before the events of Street Fighter 5. So it's a little background introduction for you guys into Street Fighter 5, into the world of Street Fighter 5, and into the storyline of Street Fighter 5. So I suggest you guys go, and I do believe it's going to be coming out March the 15th.
I have to agree. I have not had the chance to watch it yet, but I've heard great things about it, and I loved Assassin's Fist, so I will be checking that out. I have a random question for you, since we're talking questions on this episode. If you were to rank Street Fighter as a franchise, Mortal Kombat as a franchise, and Tekken as a franchise on personal level, what order would you have them in?
Say that again?
If you were to rank the Mortal Kombat franchise, the Street Fighter franchise, and the Tekken franchise from best to worst on a personal level, how would you rank them?
Ooh.
Or I guess I should say favorite to least favorite.
Tekken's least favorite.
Why?
I'm just not I'm not a 3D fighter person. Which...
Fair enough.
From a purely emotional standpoint, Mortal Kombat is a better franchise, in my opinion, than Street Fighter. But from a complete logical standpoint and what I feel is the best for the community and fighting games in general, like the best mechanics for a fighting game, have to give it to Street Fighter. They've just been more consistent in their. They've been more consistent in their games, and they're not as wild and out there. You can lock onto a combo and beat them, but I don't know. I feel like
they're a little more.
I feel like it's more hype. At the end of the day, I feel like Street Fighter is a more hype, thoughtful game that takes more patience and practice to get good at, opposed to Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, you learn 2 or 3 setups. You can learn 2 or 3 setups. You can learn a couple of combos, and you're good to play online and win all the time. I mean, I put in maybe 3 hours of practice into the game, went online and got a 12 win streak. But I mean, very first time I played the game, which was about 3 months after it came out.
Alright.
And Street Fighter, I had to put more time into, practice more of it, and just spend more time on it than I did Mortal Kombat in general. So I feel like fighting game wise, mechanics wise, Street Fighter is better from a personal, emotional standpoint. Mortal Kombat's better. And Tekken's bottom in both of them. Tekken is fun though.
Alright, I can see your points on your choices. If I had to rank them though, that's a tough one, because I think Mortal Kombat revolutionized the fighting game scene in a way, because of the gore and the brutality and the out there-ness.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, I just want to throw this out there, guys. Arby's posted on Facebook and tweeted out on Twitter, because Mortal Kombat XL came out yesterday. Well, today, Tuesday. And they made the Mortal Kombat dragon out of curly fries and posted "finish them" in that picture on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Arby's, guys. Arby's.
That is awesome. Support Arby's.
That is the second or third thing they've done with the fighting game community in the past few days. So, past few weeks. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if there being an actual mainstream sponsor to events like CEO and Evo, and bringing food out to those events for the players and helping out with the community and sponsoring the events.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. That'd be like our old wrestling tournaments where Chick-fil-A always showed up.
Yep. Wrestling, guys, is in high school wrestling, as we were high school wrestlers.
Yeah.
And went to these tournaments. Not like WWE video game tournaments.
No, we were high school wrestlers. And middle school.
Yep, and middle school.
But back to my ranking things, I feel like Street Fighter is great on the real life martial arts basis, but I would put Tekken above it because of the fact that Tekken it's like a cousin to Street Fighter. They have a lot of similarities, but if this was a real world fight, it would be 3D, and Tekken gives you the options to move around and like corner dash around your opponent and then hit them with an uppercut or a grab or whatever the case may be. Street Fighter you have to have respect for, because it still has that old school vibe to it, and not a lot has changed about it. It stays, like you said, very consistent. So I think I'm going to give it Tekken, Street Fighter, and then Mortal Kombat, even though that may surprise some people. I know that was jumbled up in my delivery, but Tekken, because real world component, plus the 3D gives you the space to move around like an actual fight. Street Fighter because of the real world component, but it stays true to its roots. And Mortal Kombat, yes, it revolutionized video gaming in general with the rating system, but it is out there, and they haven't really found a formula to stick to other than the characters they have. They've switched from 3D to 2D to 3D environment with 2D fighting. They changed their story up a lot. They reboot it. They do a lot of random jumbles of things.
I will give it to this though. Mortal Kombat has the most consistent and the best of all fighting game storylines.
I can't agree with that. They do have an awesome storyline. If the other games could learn that storyline delivery, this world would be out of control.
Alright. So next topic on the board. We're going to go a little bit off the fighting game. Actually, we're going to keep on the fighting game camera. And I know a lot of people say Smash isn't a real fighting game, blah blah blah. Shut up. You're hitting each other, you're putting damage on each other, and you're trying to eliminate the other player. It's a fighting game. It has the core basic fundamentals of fighting game plus more. So, Blake, who is your favorite Smash Bros. Character in any Smash Brothers game ever?
Oh man. Well, I know playing with you and the few people that may have encountered us online, with those couple of times we ran an all-nighter online with it, with number 4, the new one,
Yep.
would see me as picking Mega Man. But I actually think Mario is my favorite. He's got like this weird hidden combo system if you can get it off right. Plus he's like the all-around character. It's like an ace in the hole, but it's a Mario in the hole. Like, yeah, I can pull him out, and he's my go-to surprise beat you up guy.
No, I didn't like it.
Who do you have?
My favorite Smash Brothers character of all time is the hypest, the greatest, the, according to hacks, will never be a champion character, Captain Falcon.
Falcon Punch.
He is so hype all the time.
I can see that. He does stay very hype, I guess is a way to put it.
Just think about his moves. His knee. His amazing, powerful knee that knocks everybody out because it's amazing is like the bronze kneecap mixed power mixed with the crimson chin from Fairly Odd Parents.
That was a sound analogy, but the bronze kneecap was very weak.
That's why I said mixed with the crimson chin.
I like that. That works.
And put him in a cool suit that's pink and white because that's the color I play.
Alright. I can totally agree with that. Well, that wraps up this episode for me, unless you had something you wanted to bring up. I mean,
I do believe that's it for me. We'll call it.
Well, guys.
We'll call it an episode. And I thank you, Lone Alpha, for coming on this episode with me and being my co-speaker in this episode, and us getting on and talking and having this great conversation for these people to listen to.
Anytime, man. These shows are great to come on and have some legit video game conversation with fellow enthusiasts.
Next week, probably, I want to start doing this every week. I will try, if Lone Alpha can't get on, or even if he can get on, we're going to try to bring Blizzard Road back into this, and we're all going to have a 3-way conversation if we work some things out.
I'm game.
So, you know.
We'll also be more prepared next time. This was an on-the-fly deal.
This was, I found my sound recorder. I found out how to record some stuff. So we were like, you know, we need to do this. Do it. This is either episode 3 or episode 4. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure this
I
is...
believe this is 4. I believe I came in on 3 my very first time.
I do too. Alright. So, guys, we're calling it an episode. Thank you, once again, for coming on the show tonight.
Next week.
We will see you guys next week or the week after. It may be bi-weekly. I'm not quite sure yet. Bi-monthly, rather. I think. No, bi-weekly. Yeah. Bi-weekly. So,
Yeah.
Peace out, guys. We will see you.
I'm Lone Alpha. He's Healy and Chris. It's a shoot.
We're logging off.